All right, welcome to another episode of the Late Show with T and J, where every Monday evening it's just a vibe. So, Tanner, how we doing today?
I am extremely tired. It's Sunday, but I'm good. You know,
Just been busy.
yep. Life of a dad.
Always busy.
Yeah.
Always a busy man.
And
I got
tonight I don't have any whiskey, and it says poison, but it's actually tea.
yeah. Your tea shouldn't be poison.
Yeah.
What are you rocking today, tea wise? What'd you go with?
Um, just a basic lemon tea. I added ginger and
Nice.
honey, and yeah, that's really it. Yeah.
I
I didn't go
decided
crazy.
I just went with my strawberry lemon cold brew, as I've been doing the past few weeks.
Nice.
It's just really good.
Yeah, I got to get more of a variety.
It was on sale, but it was really good. So I was
Right.
like, yeah, I can definitely go back for more. So we have a bit of a mix up in how we're working things now. So what we told the audience last week were a couple of the themes that we're going to start going with, a bit of a throwback vibe, a top five, versus list, as well as some conspiracies, maybe paranormal conversations, things like that. So what do we want to start off this week with, Tanner? What are you feeling?
I feel like we should start off with throwback.
The
Definitely
throwback.
with a throwback vibe.
That's good. That's a good conversation to have. So our throwback this week is
Oof. 90s cartoons,
90s
specifically
cartoons.
WB Kids. I'm sorry, Kids WB
Mm-hmm.
and Nickelodeon.
Competitive. Okay.
It is. It almost gets to the point where like, how do you do a versus? You know what I mean? Because there's so many good ones on each side. So much nostalgia as well. So much
It was tough. Like when
iconic.
yeah, when I
There's so
thought
much
about
iconic
it,
stuff.
I was I was like thinking about it at the time as far as like what were the major networks that were competing as far as, getting kids' attention. So Nickelodeon, of course, was top tier on that. And then I was thinking, well, the only other programming show that was putting out cartoons in like consistent amounts was Kids WB.
Mhm.
Throughout the mornings, throughout the week, and then the good chunk of Saturday mornings or
Those Saturday
Sunday
morning
mornings
cartoons, that lineup.
were superb.
But the thing is, because there would even be, like I said, the before school, waiting for the bus, like super early. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have Pokemon or Digimon,
Oh,
and sometimes making us late for the bus because we would have to walk all the way up Sweetgrass Lane to get to the bus stop to catch a bus, Denver and I. And they're 30-minute episodes.
yeah, you get
We would
caught up
stay.
in the
We would
poker
stay.
rap at the end.
I was just gonna say that we would stay for the poker rap, try to get that last one, and then we'd have to book it.
Beeline it,
Yeah.
right?
And if we
Oh, I
missed,
remember.
my mom knew exactly why we missed. It wasn't because we slept in. It's because we were watching Pokemon.
Every morning, I was so glad that my bus came like 5 minutes after the episode ended, so I always had a chance to finish it up and then like
Oof.
head out to the bus stop.
Oh, you got picked up directly?
Mm-hmm.
They went to the driveway?
Yep.
Man, lucky.
I lived in a small town, bro.
Right.
Like super small town. Yeah, they pulled up to every doorstop pretty much.
All right. So, yeah. So, some episodes, like, well, not episodes, but some shows we got to talk about.
Right. So, all right. Do you want to share your screen first, or would you like me to?
You can go ahead and share yours.
All right. So I'll pull mine up first. You have to go ahead and go first.
I have to go first. All right. I'll go first.
As a matter of fact, I can't do it because for some reason I don't have permission this session. So, that's the same lineup that I had. So that's
All right.
perfect.
All right. So, anyway, man, some of these is kind of crazy because.
Rocket
So,
Power,
so,
I
so this
saw
is the
that.
Nickelodeon one. We have
Yeah.
Rugrats. You have to have Rugrats in there. If Rugrats isn't in any kind of verses lineup for 90s cartoons,
They're doing it wrong.
something's wrong, and I don't want to listen to you. Okay. Yeah,
Invalid
Rugrats.
immediately.
So as you like you said recently, who let the dogs out?
Yeah, from I'm pretty sure it was Rugrats in Paris, and they had the music video at the end of the film where like that song was so hype as a kid.
Oh my goodness.
Who let the dogs out? Like it was, and what was crazy is it was a reggae group, which at the time wasn't really mainstream, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
like that, it definitely added character to it. It was, and then Riptar being like such a fascinating character by himself, like it got so many kids into dinosaurs and things like that. But then you've got a couple more, I guess, highbrow, if you want to call a cartoon highbrow. I would go with Hey Arnold in the sense of the different social things that it talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
Hey.
one you have. There's the meme, the crazy girlfriend or whatever, the one where she's
Mm,
like smiling like this, like
yeah.
that is Helga. Helga is before her. She's the
Hmm.
original crazy stalker,
uh,
girl.
a statue made out of bubble gum,
That's
man.
disgusting. She's straight up on a lot of illegal activity when it comes to Arnold.
Oh,
Like
she was
that wasn't
stalking.
okay.
She
That
was stalking, bro. It was bad. But
and you know
then,
what?
mhm.
Oh, she should be in prison or juvie.
Well, I
Because
mean, if you're
poor
going
that
with
poor
that, like
kid.
their one of their final movies was like them breaking into a huge facility. Like it's trespassing, bro. Like, you can't go
Well,
doing
the reason why I
that.
say she should be in juvie is like, who's the one dude that's always like sneaking up behind her when she's in her little,
Oh,
creepy
just
moments, and he's
like
just all
heaving, yeah, like nasally
like,
and
don't get me wrong, he's weird too. Yeah, he deserves that punch, but they're still kids. How many times is he gonna get his glasses busted? That runs up a bill.
bro, he should stop creeping.
He should, but
You get
still,
punched when you're caught creeping.
if I was if I was that boy's dad, I'd be like, one, super mad because his glasses keep getting broken. Glasses aren't cheap, and I know
They
Helga's
are. They
dad.
actually are.
I know Helga's dad's got
They're
some money because he's
plastic.
got that beeper business. I'm coming for that money. He's paying for those
Man,
glasses.
there were so many dynamics in that show. It was
Arnold
just
was clearly
crazy.
depressed.
Yeah.
He was
Uh,
very obviously depressed.
not knowing who his parents were. His grandparents never really told him. Mm. He had his own gambit. Boarding house living. So many different people around.
Hmm.
I
Growing
like.
up with a football shaped head. That's got to mess with you a little bit.
Okay, I mean, if you're gonna call out him, you might as well call out Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. He's a triangle, bro.
That's true. That's true.
Anywho, but like, no, Nickelodeon really had like a crazy amount of good shows.
Yeah.
Recess ended up being on Nickelodeon early. Cat Dog, I was a huge fan of Cat Dog, dude. I don't want to talk about this show, but you have to include SpongeBob.
Yeah, no, you do. You do.
You have
He,
to.
he's technically, I can't say he's sorry. SpongeBob SquarePants' show is technically a 90s show. I think
98.
99. 99.
Was it
I'm pretty sure it's
99? Okay.
1999. It's
Was it?
the end of the 90s, but it's still a
Yeah,
90s thing.
right. By
It was like right
proxy
on the
kind of
right on the
situation.
cusp of, into that early 2000s stuff. And but Danger Mouse is here.
Dude, I don't remember Danger
You
Mouse.
don't
I'm
remember
not even
Danger
gonna hold
Mouse?
you.
My man.
I'm not even gonna hold you,
Oh,
bro.
okay. I know you know Ren and Stimpy.
Of course. That
Ren and
shit was
Stimpy.
weird though. That
It
shit was
was.
super weird, man.
But like
Oh, you know what?
the 90s was weird. But then
I
we also
do
got
know
Angry.
Danger Mouse. I'm looking at him right now. I do know Danger Mouse.
Okay.
I don't remember like a whole lot, but I remember that. I remember having that action figure.
Yeah, that's the thing that came to me was the action figure.
Yo,
Because it was the biggest thing that stood out.
yo,
And then, Angry Beavers.
another
I
weird
loved Angry
show.
Beavers.
It was good, like, but it
Pinky
was
and the
weird.
Brain.
There's so many good shows on Nickelodeon at the time, and we're not even talking about the live action shows.
No,
That's
Cat
for
Dog.
another day. But you know what? I think we should go ahead and talk about what was on Kids WB because that was just as solid a lineup.
Yes, we do. So I'm switching to that right now. All right. So right here,
Mm.
the lineup for that. I mean, you know, I'm a big Batman fan. You
Yes,
know
you
it.
are. We all
All right.
know you're a Batman fan.
So I don't even care about the Batman, that show that was on. It was a good show. Don't get me wrong. But
I
Batman
cannot.
the animated series,
I cannot wait to have a versus
and then
where I
Batman
destroy
Beyond,
you and how trash Batman is.
bruh.
You to know.
No, stop.
I just want
Look,
you to know that
I'm obviously
because
listen. I don't care about
because
listen. When it comes to Super, everyone's
Batman
always got to do the argument with Batman versus
Batman
Superman.
is trash. No, no. Legitimately, I'm not even going with
All right.
Batman
Well,
versus
you know
Superman.
what? That's usually the generic argument. Batman couldn't be Superman. Listen, Homeboy is allergic to kryptonite. All right, I
It
get that.
depends on who's writing it, but
That's true. That's
again,
also true.
conversation for another day. I'm gonna kick your
You're
ass
about
though.
to. You're getting me
I'm gonna
heated
kick your
right now. You're
ass
getting me
though.
heated right now, bro. I'm about to
Cause
rip into my utility belt and
bro,
throw a battering
you are
batarang.
garbage. Like no, like I'm going to tear that apart. I just
Yeah.
one of my favorite shows though from WB, and this is gonna sound like a weird one, but I watched it almost every morning before school, and that was Freakazoid.
Yes.
It was such an
Freakazoid.
outlandish show,
Freakazoid. Freak.
but it was really good. Like it was really good. I was a huge fan of that one. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
talking to you a little bit earlier about Ozzy and Drix because that one right there, based off of Osmosis Jones, was a really good like cartoon animated flick, and then they ended up making a series out of it.
Right. But Ozzy and Drix, it's not 90s. That's it right here. It's oh
That's
02 to oh 04.
yeah,
So we're talking about 90s. We can't get into the
yeah.
2000s just yet.
It was really
I'm
good.
not negating what you're saying that
It
it's,
was really,
you know,
okay. Nah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
man. Tiny Toons Adventures.
Tiny Toons.
Oh, what else? We got Animaniacs. You got to talk
Pinky and the
Animaniacs.
Brain. Pinky and the Brain.
I already mentioned Pinky and the Brain,
Oh, I didn't catch that. I
and
was ignoring you.
we walked right by that. But anyway,
Oh,
Animaniacs.
goodness. Pinky and the Brain. I I want to skip past Animaniacs because I want to double
You want
back
to
to it.
double? You want to double back to Pinky
I
the
want to.
Brain? All right, let's double back to Pinky the Brain.
I like the conspiracy that Pinky is actually the mastermind behind everything, and it's not Brain. Because when you look at how the episodes go, like he really does control how everything goes. He makes it seem like he's stupid, but he's like, no, dude, I'm not gonna let you take over the world, but I'm not gonna be obvious that I'm gonna stop you.
Right.
I don't know. That was because his character being the dumb one, like you would never suspect him to be the one that's cutting off Brain from all of his mastermind ideas.
Right. But I like that kind of conspiracy theory about that because there's that trope, that character kind of trope that you always sleep on the one who's playing a fool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they always come and it's the one you never expect.
No,
You're sleeping on him just because you're
you
like he's a
never
dumbass,
catch that one.
right?
Mhm.
You're just overlooking him, like, oh, he's stupid. No. Anyway, and then
No, all
you
right,
get blindsided.
yeah. But you want to talk about Animaniacs, and all right, the reason I wanted to double back quick to Pinky and the Brain is because it was going to be short. We were going to agree on that.
Mhm.
Animaniacs, I loved it. Weird characters, inappropriate as all.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So
Bro.
all right. So it's on Disney Plus. Because Disney is buying everything.
Mhm.
So excuse me, Animaniacs is on. I see they have all these old ones on here, and then I play it for Connor, and it's obviously I'm more into it than he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm watching, I'm paying attention. I'm like, this is kind of messed up.
Hello, nurse. And then they
Yeah.
unwarrantedly smack them ladies. Like, wait, guys, you can't go doing that. You
Right.
can't.
And like, all right, so they also like they create these characters and they're kids
Mm-hmm.
and they just lock them up in a tower because they can't handle them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy metaphor for like what a lot of people do to how they can't handle their kids. You know, instead of maybe they lock them in a counter or sorry, the tower, lock them in a closet, or they just throw
Give
them a
them
shit ton of
drugs
drugs.
and yeah.
That's
Oh,
like maybe you're thinking too deep into it, but I also feel like I'm not.
no, I think it's valid as far as the metaphor goes.
Like I made that connection
But
quick,
they
and they're
also, yeah, go
technically
ahead.
orphans in a sense.
They are.
So they're three siblings that nobody wants because they can't control them, and
They're
like so
wild kids.
they throw them up in this house, and but like it's also like that's how kids act when they're not
Mm,
getting what they need.
mm.
They act crazy. That's how they get their attention. So they're acting crazy and doing all this weird shit.
It shows how much kids need attention. And I think the other metaphor that comes out of that is like the hilarity that, you're sitting them in front of a TV show, which might as well be a box by itself. It's and ensnaring them and keeping them preoccupied so you don't have to deal with them.
Right.
It's like irony that you're doing the same thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Man.
yeah.
All right. So
Ah, good old
now,
fashioned 90s cartoons. They were
yeah,
deep, man. They had a deeper meaning, a lot of
yeah.
those shows.
There's some now that are okay, but a lot of them are just so.
There are a few gems in there. I was a fan of Adventure Time
I do like Adventure
because
Time.
that one, like, it had a storyline, character development, like their storylines were so intertwined and so sophisticated, and the way that they're written, it was surprising that it turned out to be a kid show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I
because you
think
would
it
almost
started
expect
out.
it to be like at least a late teen,
Mhm.
late teen to early mid 20s kind of
I believe it started out with that premise, but
audience.
then the character design and everything was still entertaining to kids, so it kind of played a double role in being able to give innuendos and things like that, while kids aren't going to get that. But I think that goes with a lot of the cartoons that we grew up with, is looking back at them, because I do look back at them from time to time. You realize how many of those jokes were adult jokes. They were
Oh,
not meant for kids.
and again, we talk about this about SpongeBob being technically 90s.
Mm.
The same goes for Rocket Power.
Yeah, that dad was smoking powder every day.
Yes.
Every day.
What's funny is like watching that as a kid. Even then, I knew
Yeah, you knew he was on something. Like,
Homeboy is smoking
there was
some good
just
Kush.
it was just the mannerism that he had all the time. Like, it was that stereotypical surfer dude, like
Yeah,
from the '70s at that.
him and his boy, they were getting high all the time. But like
Mm-hmm. And his boy was a chef, so he was
yeah,
cooking up some munchies real nice. He's
edibles,
like, "Yo, y'all want some after this?"
wiggity wiggity wiggity.
I love that show,
Yeah, that was a
man.
good
That
one.
was such a good show.
Um,
I think it's
and
underrated.
that was obviously on Nickelodeon,
Mm-hmm.
but we're also missing Doug. We forgot about Doug. So we had
Doug
this
had some
conversation.
dynamics.
We had
Yeah.
this conversation um, because for the going back and watching it, man. Like I said, I completely forgot that the very first episode of Doug was a new kid,
Yeah.
and Doug got accepted. He ran into Skeeter, and Skeeter accepted him, welcomed him with open arms. Showed him the ropes and whatnot. And as you
Yep.
said, Skeeter was clearly black,
Yeah. He
and
was. I
that
think
trope.
I think the one chick that really liked Skeeter, but like was super bossy. She was
Uh-huh.
another version of like she was a black woman.
Oh, I think that too, for
She was
sure.
a black woman.
For sure.
She was a serious one to his comedy, you know? Like he was always sarcastic or playing it off as a joke. But there the dynamics in that show, the bullying that he received, um, him having a crush on Patty Mayonnaise. We all had that one person where it was like, yo, I like her so much, but I can't talk to her, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It just
You
it made
related.
sense. Yeah, it related.
You could relate.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was saying, that trope of you see it all the time in movies. We saw it. We movies shows. There's a new kid or new kid at school, new kid in town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're new at work, and they always have you being accepted by the black guy or a girl.
40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, welcome them in, 4-year-old version, taking them under their wing.
Yep.
You know, I'm not saying at all it's a negative thing. That's just a
No.
very big reoccurring trope that
Well,
is always in play.
there's a conversation to be had about that because I think that comes from like a long line of uh, acceptance and like black people, understanding how it is to not fit in, and then finding some new kid that's like got nobody, so and they use their comedy to kind of get them through. It's just like you're saying, that repetitive trope, it's definitely been there, and it's been there for such a long time.
Yeah, I
Like,
love that you said that because the comedy part, they're always super funny.
mm-hmm.
They're always super funny and like either with what they say or with what they do, but they're always super funny,
Right.
always animated.
They're the expressive one, while that new person is usually like shy and reserved.
Mm-hmm.
They hold back because they don't really know, and that sidekick really is what it turns out to be. Really opens them up. They end up curating that person into who they become at the end of the film or show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did like the one reverse kind of situation, and it's a bit vague. Like not many people are gonna get it, but Jet Jackson, it was on Disney Channel.
Oh my God, yeah,
He was the teen spy,
Judge
where
Jackson.
although he was the new kid, it was a white kid that was the comedic role, the comedic sidekick. It was a completely different flip where it was like, well, for one, you had the black leading role and him not being a sidekick, which was phenomenal, especially for Disney at the time. But it was also just the flip in that the dynamic, to see that it happens on the other side. It was really nice as a display.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's got to come down to the verses now. When I think about it, when it comes to nostalgia and everything we've talked about, it leans more towards 90s Nickelodeon shows. I'm not, I still love WB, kids WB shows for sure.
They had Power Rangers,
Yeah,
but technically not a cartoon.
exactly.
I'm
We're on
like,
cartoons here.
they had Power
We're on,
Rangers.
we're, we're on cartoons here. All right. When we bring in live action shows, then it's a completely different dynamic.
They become even closer, in my opinion. But as it stands right now, I believe you're right with the nostalgia that comes with Nickelodeon. They just kind of hold the crown.
They do.
They
90s, they
are
were they
unbeaten.
were they were killing it. They were
Yep.
pumping out a lot of good ones.
They had a lot of shitty ones too, though, bro.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
They had some shitty shows, man.
absolutely. We can talk about it another time.
They
We
had
can
some
we can do a versus another
bombs
time
in
of which
there,
one was
dude.
shittier than the other.
Dude. Although there was one that a lot of people didn't like, but I did like. It was Prometheus and Bob. It was like a
I
little
love
short.
Prometheus and Bob.
It was like, it was little quips. Like it was intelligent, but like
Well,
nonsensical. You know what I mean?
I know this. What was the other one where they're like the action figures?
Action, Action News Now or
Ac-
Action, yeah, Action Now or something like that. Like
yeah,
because it was
those
based out of a
ones.
comic
Because there
strip,
was
like
the melting man or whatever.
Melting Man,
Oh my god, I love that show as well.
the
I got
scuba
why.
diver who was always going down the toilet drain,
Yeah,
like, or the
I'm so mad that I
sewers.
can't remember the name of it.
Action League Now.
Action League Now. There, yes, yes. But
Yup.
that's not a cartoon either. But anyway,
It's pseudo. It's pseudo.
see, it's so hard.
I think you're right. It comes
Yeah,
down to that nostalgia value, which
it does.
who knew played such a iconic role in so many verses. You know what I mean? Like
Nostalgia wins, and
it does.
I'm big in nostalgia. Me
I
personally,
think really
I
when it
love getting
comes
caught
down
up
to
in
it,
it.
us being from the 90s, we're always going to be nostalgic because we come from like a split in time. We were like a mix of super old style teachings, but technology at the same time. Like we were
Yeah,
caught in a mix where it's like things move so fast, it seemed like they were decades ago, you know?
yeah. With dial up,
We all had dial up.
AOL Roadrunner.
AOL, the discs, the free discs that you used to get with the 90-day trial. Just,
Yeah, like we were still rocking CDs for a while and CD
yo,
players,
Walkmans,
dealing with that skip.
yo. That I even had cassette tapes where you had to use the pencil to rewind the tape
Yeah,
if it got all strung out.
we grew up with
Goodness.
the VHS tapes, Blockbuster.
Yes, VHS.
Man, I know we're kind of going off topic here, but I miss Blockbuster so much. Going
They,
there, I got so
yeah,
excited. Like I would
yeah.
be
I
so
do
happy to
it
go to Blockbuster.
Friday because you usually got pizza, like and
You get the
popcorn,
candy,
like.
the popcorn.
Hmm.
Go in the kids section. There was a specific kids section, you know, and I
Sometimes
would
you could rent video games.
yes.
No.
Oh man, I love.
Hmm.
I
They
still
they were the
I
first
miss Blockbuster.
Netflix and Redbox, and all. People don't even know.
I
Yeah.
think what I liked about that too is because I knew it was gonna be like a family movie night.
Hmm. Everyone was gonna sit around and have a
Mhm.
good time.
I
Yup.
remember getting Tarzan, and this is like
Singing it word for word with my family, bro.
I remember getting
I
Tarzan.
love that
Uh,
movie.
we got that Crunch chocolate.
Oh,
Um,
yep, the Crunch Bar.
mhm. Popcorn. Um, lots of M&Ms.
Dude, sometimes we
And
would get
make
Chinese food.
we wouldn't make a blanket for it, not a
Nice.
blanket for it, but would lay out a bunch of blankets on the floor, on the living room floor, a bunch of pillows,
Hmm.
so we could like lay on the floor, kick back, and watch the actual giant tube, you know, the thick tubes, not these flat
Hmm.
screens.
We used to call that a pallet. We make a pallet on the ground. It was a bunch of pillows, a bunch of blankets, just a nice, comfy little bed.
Yeah,
But yep, you'd always be looking up on your big old box tube
yeah.
TV.
And all of us siblings would fall asleep. Well, Dakota was older at the time, but so he would, you know,
Yo.
getting into his teenage angst and whatnot. But yeah, no, we'd end up falling asleep there on the floor.
Hmm.
Of course, wake up kind of pissed off because it'd be kind of cold later at night and see that mom snuck off to her bed. Okay, you just
He
gonna leave me
just
here?
left y'all. Like, that or you mysteriously end up in your bed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude. Fall asleep on the couch or something, and like you wake up
Mhm.
in your bed, you're like, how'd I get here?
Yeah. And those were trips too, going to Blockbuster. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
10-minute thing because you had to
Hmm.
walk all around, see what was new,
Yo.
find the movie you loved, movie you've been wanting to watch. You
Mm.
know? I miss Blockbuster.
Hit that teen years, you kind of
Yeah.
try and creep into that X-rated section a little bit, and then you
Yeah.
get booted out.
'Cause like, yeah, because when it
We
comes down
we've
to
all
it,
been there. We've all
oh,
been there.
oh, yeah. Turn the you know how they would have like the description in the back and a couple pictures.
Hmm.
I would turn that on and be like,
Huh.
"That's some tea." I'm here 12. What?
Right.
Mom comes over. I immediately put that down and pull up a movie I was watching. It's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Mom.
Morphing
Meanwhile,
out
I'm
of
still
them
standing in
clothes.
front of. Oh,
Oh goodness, nostalgia.
you know what was a good part
Yeah.
about that? Like, you ever walk in awkwardly while like an adult male is looking at those, and he just like
He looks
puts it
down at
away
you.
and then it walks
Yeah.
away in shame. And
Yep.
then you're like, well, I'm interested. I want to see what it looks like.
Dude, this is so left field.
Yeah, we went off topic. All right. So we
Oh,
established. All right. So Nickelodeon kind of wins in
yeah.
this versus battle.
But I think that that nostalgia conversation leads into our next topic as far as our top five,
Top five. All right. Childish Gambino,
aka Donald Glover.
Don Glover, aka I'm not a rapper, aka Troy Barnes, uh,
aka Troy and Abed in the
Simba,
morning.
Troy and Abed in the morning. All right. So
Han Solo,
Han Solo.
although not his best role.
I still liked it.
I even have to admit that that was not his best role.
It wasn't as bad.
I was hyped for him to have that, and then I was like, maybe not so much.
I didn't hate it. I just think the writing wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's what I chalk it up to because
So
I
he was
know
just
his
doing his
acting's
job.
really solid, but
Yeah, when it comes down to it, he's doing what the director wants.
it's just stupid sometimes. Well,
Agreed. So,
Ooh,
top
ooh.
five Childish Gambino songs.
How do we want to play this? Do we want to
It's
go
so
back and forth,
hard.
or one list their five, the other list their five? How do we want to run this, bro?
I think we should each list off our five.
Oh,
And it was I spent all week trying to figure this out. And even now I'm still conflicted, but I have to stick with what I picked.
I have so many conflictions in mine. And all right, so I have to be honest. I lied to you earlier.
What did I tell you? I told you. Have I ever lied to you?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, but I just don't want you to lie to me.
But no, you've lied to me. You've lied to me quite a bit. So you asked me if I had my my list done yet, and I said, yeah, nah, I didn't.
You motherfucker.
Well, here's what I did, because it was such a difficult decision for me to make. I had to do it last minute, because those last minute ones are the ones that are truly on my heart.
Are really the ones.
Right. I had to press myself to be
I get it. That makes sense.
So I was like, because, all right, again, I have 100+ songs from him on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's 5 out of 100+. Difficult is the least I could say. So I'll start with my number 5.
Oh, you're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like it. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'll throw in my honorable mentions after.
Okay.
Outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about that song that resonated with me, as far as like kind of there always being a new day, always being able to get past, that initial blockage that you had. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had incidences in my life where it's like you get scared, but I ultimately know that, you got to push past that shield. And I felt like that's, to me, that's what that song ended up being about.
Right.
Are we pulling up any cues for the folks? I know we got copyright issues, so we got to give the disclaimer, like, this is not ours. And
no, it's definitely not ours.
We have no intention of, harming anyone who has produced or made the music.
Right.
It is all credit to them. I think for now we'll go without, but just as a song of that resonated with me. I love that one.
Okay. Number 4.
Redbone.
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 No, you said you told me Redbone.
I told you it had to be on my list, and this one's not even about the lyrics. This one's about the music and the vibe to it. It is such a throwback feeling for it coming out in 2019, 2018, 2018. Like it has such a like 70s kind of psychedelic throwback vibe where it it just made me think of like the music of that time where
Hmm.
you know it wasn't always just in the lyrics, although they had a lot more lyricism. The music and melody was there too, and I get entranced in that song.
Hmm.
So I for that, that's why it had to be in my top five, because I'm such a huge fan of music from that time, and I love that people still bring it back as kind of homage.
And he's not necessarily rapping in Redbone
No,
either. He's
no,
not.
that one's more of a singing vocal
Yeah,
piece.
and I like the way he's used like how he's using his pitch to do it. You
He
know what I mean?
his voice is completely different on that entire album. Really,
It gives
the
me a
way
Prince vibe.
fair.
It gives me a Prince vibe, and I fuck
hmm
with it a lot.
I agree with you on that. No, I feel you on that. Number three, Bad Power.
All right, all right. I like. Okay.
The storytelling through that song and then what comes after about how, he told some girl that he loved her, and that took her, of course, by surprise, and then he tried to play it off, and then of course the girl went and told all her friends, and him being, the shy kid already, the popular chick called him out on it, and he learned at that time, like, there's really no secrets to be held. Once you put that out there, people can't pick on you, about that. You put it out there, like, what are they going to do? What are they going to say? Like, it's not like it's behind your back. So it's put it out there all the time. Be open
Exactly.
about it, because no one can really hold it against you outside of that. But the storytelling that went with that, and the fact that he says that he still feels like he's stuck on that bus all this
Hmm.
time later, a part of him was never able to leave.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. That is my favorite part.
It's a deep story, and I would highly recommend that everyone check that out. Number two, this one is one of my more nostalgic ones. This one's Bonfire. I love the hypeness of this song. I get riled up
Dude.
every time. Dude, I'm on my bike. I'm cruising when it comes to this.
I'll be cleaning, and I'm just like,
It's a
I'm going,
bonfire. Dude,
turn the
I
lights
swear.
out. I'm going hard while I'm cleaning and sweeping.
It's such a hard song for no reason. For no reason. But it's one of his earlier songs that was on
Camp.
Camp, the EP Camp. But such a hard song. Like, I
The one
get excited. I get pumped for
I
that
love the
song.
line. Couldn't see me as Spider-Man, but now I'm spitting venom.
Dude, his lyricism, his wordplay, I really put him above a lot of mainstream artists because they're trash.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to bring up about that one, the one where he's like, I got nothing against the sisters. I just don't think they're into me.
hmm
Um, I'm not a thug, aka what they pretend to
Pretend to
be.
be right.
That one kind of resonates with me, being like, because I'm not against Native women,
Right.
but growing up, I never thought they were into me because you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like, he's so relatable in so many ways.
Be For me, being a blurred, black nerd out here in the world, like, he has been one of few artists that have, like, been the same as me, who have held some of those kind of darker secrets too, where it's like we've dealt with that trauma, but we still make light of a lot of it, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And we don't hide who we are. Like, yo, I'm out here. I love comics. I love anime. I listen to music from the 30s, 40s, 50s, like all the
Yeah.
way up. Like, I'm different.
Bitch,
I'm
I'm
different.
different. Bitch, I'm different.
I am. I'm just different. My fucking asshole
All right.
about it.
Next one.
And number one, this one I think is my most played Gambino song of all time, and that's
I
3005.
knew it. I knew it. Yep. I knew it was gonna be 2005.
This again, it's the storytelling. It's a love ballad in a sense.
I was gonna say, what do you think
But the artistry
3005
in
is
the
about?
video, it's definitely a love ballad, but uh, unaccepted love, unreciprocated. Uh,
Mhm.
but he's saying that really, no matter what, I'm here. No matter what you say, what you do, I'll always be there for you. I'll be right by your side till 3005. Like 3005 is clearly a long time away, but he's like, no matter what, I'm not gonna leave.
Right,
I'm
like I'm
here.
gonna be there.
So like, no matter what you say or what you've done, no matter how much you've hurt me, like
Like,
this is where I am,
yeah.
and no
Like I
matter
think,
how hurt I am, this is where I want to be.
yeah, a note I made actually about that. Um,
I have one last point after you say this.
the Ferris wheel and the teddy bear
I want to talk about
in the
that.
music video.
I want to talk about that artistry. Do
Since you
you
since you no since you dropped it up saying you made your list first and 3005 is your top song. Why don't you talk about it rather than me?
Okay, so in the music video, he is in a Ferris wheel with a bear, just a big stuffed teddy bear. But over the course of the video, this bear who has some bit of animation also decays over time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I want to talk about is that metaphor of still riding that ride no matter what you've been through, you're not leaving. Because he never got off that ride in that video. And not until it was like Varian, but that bear was done. He might as well have been dead. You know what I mean? And that's the only way that he was getting off that ride. Because if I remember correctly, it's the decayed bear at the end. You know, lifeless but still there. Where that goes with the lyrics and the song of I'm gonna be here till the end of time. I'm not going anywhere, and even after that, I'm still here.
Right.
But it's a bit depressive in the sense of again, it's unreciprocated.
Yeah. It the note I made was, as far as a teddy bear,
Mm-hmm.
because it clearly, for I think for those who are just like watching the video just to watch it, but like if you're like actually studying it along with the lyrics, I think it represents hope, his innocence, like you said, that over time kind of dies out a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, and his comfort.
Yeah.
His teddy bear is a big comfort, and it slowly dies. So his comfort is slowly, fading away, and the Ferris wheel just kind of keeps going and going and going, and that's your
Continue.
life. Your life just
Mm-hmm.
keeps going and going and going. Everything outside of that is just the horrors of the world.
Right.
And it's a dope song. The music is dope.
It's a dope
So
song.
2005. Hold
It's
up.
it's a vibe, dude. You know, that's what I'm all about. His
I love
music's
that
just a vibe.
because there's so many good songs that like it so oddly puts you in a good mood,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of a sad story.
It's
Well, maybe not sad, but there's
it
there
makes you
there is a
think.
yeah
It
there
makes
is
you
a
think.
sadness to it.
There is a sadness to it. But
because
it's one of
there's
those ones you had to have been in those shoes to
yeah,
sometimes pick that up.
like he's singing about being with someone and
Mhm.
no one's there. Yeah,
It's a relatable sadness. Is
right.
really what it is.
Okay,
Ooh.
so
I'm gonna save my honorable mentions for the very end because something tells me they are very similar.
I think so too. Number five,
And
not going back.
ooh, okay, hit me with it.
Like we said, it resonates with me.
Mhm.
It makes sense to me.
I've got the lyrics going in my head right now.
Exactly. I'm hooked. The very first time I heard it, like I was hooked. The way he slowly, like, it seems like they all want
Mhm.
me to fail, and I'm just like, but I'm not going back. And then he goes
Right.
through the whole story, and I'm just like, I mean, the first time I listened to it, I literally I just listened,
You have to just sit there.
and like, yeah, I was just like, obviously it's not my life, but there were so many things that I can equate it to and just connect with being in somewhat similar situations, so not going back had to be number five for me. Outside is number four. I don't think we need to talk about that because we agree on everything about outside. Number three, sober.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted this one. I did.
Mm.
I wanted this one.
Now, I originally had fuck it all as my number three, but as I was listening and listening and listening, no, sober just felt right. Still love fuck it all, but sober just felt right.
They're two different moods.
Mm.
Fuck it all is. I give up. Fuck it. Yeah.
No, all right. So
The
sober,
title
so
explains
sober.
itself. Yeah. So
Just that line. And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. You know,
the video. You have
in the
to talk
video,
about the
in the
video.
video, the video.
Mhm.
You know, he's by himself and he's dancing and whatnot. Yeah. And like we've talked about this before. Usually, you would see Gambino dance in his concerts.
Mhm.
Never in music videos. Like that was the first one you actually saw him
Like dancing,
dancing.
right?
But he
Not
wasn't
just
just
hopping
he was just
around,
moving
right?
like an asshole. Like
Hmm.
there was a purpose to every movement,
Hmm.
which I loved even more because it was more storytelling. Like he's not only acting in it, his dancing is doing his performance, his face is doing a performance, and obviously got the story from his lyrics and the actress and their dynamic.
It was a full artistry.
Yeah, I love the camera work in it as well.
Mm.
Um, being a huge fan of filmmaking and whatnot, and the edits in it, and she starts feeling a little bit, and then she leaves, and then he's all alone again, and then he's just sitting up.
Back left to his own devices.
Yeah. Again, it's a good song too. I like the song. I bumped to it. Um. So this one I had heartbeat. I had heartbeat for number two. Heartbeat for me is number two.
Okay.
I had 3005. I had the Knicks 3005.
I want to. Oh. Okay.
And
Because all right, we are not gonna glance over that. We are not gonna glance over that.
why is that?
I don't like your decision. No.
It's the hard. See, that's why this is so hard because like I still love so much of these songs, but like Heartbeat, I was going through some shit when I listened to Heartbeat for the first time, and it synced, like it sunk in.
Okay. I'm mad at you about that, but okay.
And
Number
again,
one.
number one, we talked about this. I'm big on nostalgia. Very first song that I ever listened to of Childish Gambino, Freaks
Freaks
and
and
Geeks.
Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, first time I heard it, hooked, and then I went into a Childish Gambino rabbit hole where I had to see what else he had,
Yo.
and I never looked back. One, the lyrics are just, to me, fire, and I love the music.
Fire.
All right, he kills it. All right, like
Yeah.
he
The
kills
only
it.
thing that I don't like is him hopping
The
around
dancing,
the
yeah,
studio.
that one I kind of like. It's funny. It's so funny, but like, it's just one shot
Yeah, I
essentially.
know. Yeah.
So you gotta do something. But his dancing was, his movement around was a little bit goofy.
It was really on his nerd shit, bro.
I've watched it a few times and I'm like, he was definitely high and
Had to
definitely had a
be.
couple drinks.
Had to be.
Oh
Yeah.
man, oh shoot. First off, let me say I'm drunk off a shitty wine. I love that entrance to that song.
There's so many good ones that aren't we haven't even
Oh,
talked about,
all
bro.
right. Honorable
And
mention. Honorable mention. What would be your first honorable mention?
my first one is actually, yeah, it's Bed Peace.
Right. And that's a good
Him,
one. I'm definitely down with having that in there. Like you said,
him
it's
and
more,
Janae.
yeah,
It all right,
it's her
so
song, but like
it's her song,
he's got
but
that verse.
his verse and just their dynamic within that song.
Hmm.
But you know what's crazy is that song's about them being drug addicts.
Yeah. They
And
basically the and she essentially just wants a relationship where like she wakes up 2 p.m., gets a little
it's
faded, come over, let's fuck, you leave, give me my space. That's really what it is about. I mean,
but
from her side,
on his too,
a
honestly,
little bit.
because
But he's also
he's
talking
like
about like
he likes it, but
he wants more.
yeah,
That's why I like this more
because
because like
yeah,
he like
it's another love story,
it's
but
another love song,
again, it's
something unattainable.
yeah, it's just one of the I've had so many situations like that where I've really felt a girl and it just wasn't right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It I knew that it wasn't gonna work because who I was going for was toxic, but it's still what I wanted, you know?
It's a drug.
It is. And that's the metaphors in the song is like I'm addicted to you. But secondly, do or die.
Yep.
Him and Flux P.
I like it's. I get it. It's Flux Pavilion. It's not a Flux Pavilion song. I'm sorry. Childish Gambino is what
He
makes that fucking song.
yes.
Yes, Flux Pavilion probably produced it. He had that bass drop. But you know why that bass drop works?
Because it's
Is
built.
because of Childish Gambino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that song goes too hard.
I'm gonna wait till the beat go in. I'll wait till the beat go in, and then like, I'm just like, oh,
I'm again. This always comes back to me being on my bike because that's how I get around. But I'm like, I can't help but power through at 20 miles per hour, just cruising. I
it,
can't help it. Every time that song comes on, I have to be doing something intense. If not, I'll find something to do that's intense. Start lifting weights for no reason. Like,
yes,
you have
lifting.
to.
I'm sorry, it's gonna sound like a serious douchebag bro thing, but I have had some of the best lifts of my life. Listen to that song. I'm talking about squat PRs, deadlift PRs. Okay, it's it gets you hyped. It gives you adrenaline,
Yeah.
especially when that bass drops. And then,
It goes so hard.
but like him leading up to it is what makes it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you on there as far as those being honorable mentions.
Who you got?
Another honorable mention I have is "We Ain't Them."
Ooh, I like that.
"We Ain't Them."
I like that.
One, the music, it always gets me in like a good mood. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's catchy, and
We ain't
also
them.
again,
We ain't them.
hold up, we can do
Yo,
that. You see,
yo, you just start bobbing, bro.
like you can't but help it. You can't help
Mm,
but do it. All right. Um, and then of course, I have "This Is America," just because the story and everything behind it,
mhm.
and
The
how it's
cultural relevance.
the cultural relevance, political
Hmm.
relevance, everything with it. Um, so much symbolism and metaphors in
Hmm.
there. Uh, and the last,
Yes,
I feel like the
that
last,
that one's my favorite depressed song from him
mm, see,
because
I hate to
it's
say that.
it's
Like when you,
poetic.
yeah,
Like it's like it's like he reminds me of Edgar Allan Poe sometimes, and the way that he's has a dark, more dramatic tone to his music at times, but his flow with it all makes it seem light enough to not be dragged down. Does that make sense?
mm,
Like the way that he composes and works his wordplay, like although clearly the melody of the song, the flow seems melodramatic, it still has a lightness that is like we've all had this moment, and it's okay to have said moment and be honest about, what you really have on your heart, because really that one, yeah, it is a
mm,
depressing tale. And in another song he says that his dad was scared, once he heard that song, like, all right, what's my kid really going through right now?
mm,
It's a powerful song.
yeah. On top of all that, like what you just said at this point, like that's what I like about music, and specifically his music, um, because he's an artist. He's an actual
Mm-hmm.
artist. He's not just an entertainer. He's not a mumble rapper. He's not a clout rapper. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He's not all like a lot of these assholes today who are trash, but society loves them. Like Lil Pump. And
It's a
I,
damn
I don't
shame,
care.
bro.
Call me. It's not a sexist thing at all. Cardi B is trash. She's the worst, and she's not an icon. She's not someone any younger woman should look up to. That's not what you should try to
Mm-hmm.
aspire for. It's garbage. I'm sorry. She's garbage.
Yeah,
She's a garbage human being.
I don't
I believe
listen to
I believe
Cardi
that.
B,
No,
but
I need to
I just
turn it
never, I
ASAP.
never got on, I never got on her hype train.
No.
Like, I've got like one friend that I listen to, and she listens to just a handful of those songs, but that's only when she's like super drunk. It's
Right.
got to be that type of mood where you're like, it's she only puts out party stuff. It's nothing of true relevance. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And that's just not who we are. It's like, yeah, we used to like party songs, and we used to, go to clubs and stuff. But even then, like, that was more short lived than anything. You know?
It was more something to do.
Right.
It
As
was never
opposed to like
anything
we
to.
had to be out, because shit, in college, we were happy just playing fucking Halo against each other. Dude, we were going in on some fucking Halo like, every day.
I'm sure there was a lot of other groups that did something similar, but
Oh,
like,
yeah. Everyone was. It was either that or zombies.
yeah, the
Holiday.
zombies. But no, we were hard as fuck on Halo
We were
and doing battle
going
royales, but everyone
all
versus
the
everyone.
time, dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
those are good
so.
times.
Dude,
What,
those battles on Halo were something else, bro.
right? Okay, so just to make sure we don't get off track. I know it's turning into like just an entire list of his songs because you.
Yeah, nah, you didn't let me do that many, you jerk.
Sorry, I wrote down too many.
You just kept
I
going.
might as well have just printed out his entire discography.
Yeah. I mean, this whole conversation is kind of moot because we love everything that's on the list.
Yeah.
This is just showing our favoritism towards him at this
Church
point.
House Gambino. One thing that I'm still like high key petty about is the fact that he went to Brockport
Sarah, again.
and he partied with them.
She chose not to.
She chose not to.
I hate her eternally for that. And she knows it. Sarah, I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, Sarah.
No, I'm talking to you. I hate you for this. How dare you not hang out with Childish Gambino? I hate you for this.
Yeah. Because we could have lived through you.
Vicariously.
We could have experienced that vicariously through you. So that was selfish on your part, knowing that we loved him. Yeah. You had a story to tell. No, you had a better story. You had a better story to tell.
Bro, I would have stolen that story. Like, nah, I totally hung out with
him. Right? And those Brockport students who actually got to party with him, the ones someone smoked with him. And whoever you are, I hope you burn.
I think there was jealous. I'm pretty sure there was more than smoking involved at that point in time.
Maybe.
Oh, I remember what she told us. There was. But I love you, Childish Gambino. Donald Club. You're amazing. Anywho. Oh, bro, it's just one of those things. Like when you've got an artist that you connect with so much, it's like, do you really have bad things to say?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes
you
tough.
Left Community too early.
All right, yeah, 6 seasons in a movie.
You gotta do 6 seasons in the movie.
He did say that he was on board to do the movie, which I'm stoked for.
I think he needs to because
I'm stoked for that.
While I'm sure he believes, I'm pretty sure he said this, that he likes things that end. Things need to have an end.
Yeah.
For things to have a meaning. And okay, Troy's story sort of ended in Community, but it happened so abruptly and it didn't feel right, especially when it came to
the whole boat thing.
Him and Abed. And then I felt like there was no payoff. Nothing felt, it didn't feel, the way his story was progressing.
It was forced.
It was very forced.
You could tell that it was just like straight to the point, like, all right, he's actually jumping ship.
Yeah. I want to know what Troy's doing now. I want to see him and Abed reunite and see how. I feel like there's going to be like something serious with that because of Abed's, meta-ness.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Abed's going to have some deep.
Well, he's probably talking about the darkest universe right now, if anything.
That's true. Oh, talk about the darkest universe. Wow. That's right. Oh, can't get into this one now. We can't get into it. We're gonna get too deep.
No, because we have one of these days we'll just have to talk about Community.
Yeah. All right. So I think that wraps it up for us for today's episode.
Yeah. We didn't get a chance to go into conspiracies, but plenty of time for that next time.
That's true. Oh man, that's true. See, I knew it when we had a little briefing about talking points and whatnot. I said Gambino's going to be like, once we start talking about Gambino, it's going to be a whole thing.
Well, we trailed off with the Nickelodeon WB
a little bit, but that's what happens. You trail off. You can't be robotic about it and just
you can't.
No.
I will say there is one thing that I am super excited for, and I believe you know what it is, Tanner. It's that time. It's that time of the year.
Oh.
The best time of the year. Not only is it Scorpio season, everyone, my birthday is on Thursday, October 29th. Super stoked. Yes. It is my golden birthday. I am turning 29 on the 29th. I don't know what that means. I didn't learn about the golden year until this year. So
Same.
I
And
don't
I'm
I don't
almost done with my year 29. I'm almost done with my golden year because I'm 30 in January.
no, I thought the golden year was the same year of your age is the
Oh, no,
same
no, no.
year of
Sorry.
your
I was getting it
birthday.
wrong. You're
Because
right. You're right. You're right.
yeah, yours would have been a
All
long
right.
time ago.
I went stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's normal.
that is normal.
Uh, anyway,
That's late.
super stoked. Probably not gonna do much though, with not much being open. But I do have my small group of friends out here that I'm gonna hang out with. Probably have a couple drinks and just kind of chill, play some darts, have a good old time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 29.
Yeah.
Fucking 30, dude.
You young whippersnapper.
Bro. 10 months.
Listen, son.
You
Listen,
are
son.
all of 10 months
Come on, son.
older than me. I will hurt you. I will physically hurt you. I will walk back to New York just to physically hurt you.
You street
Fine.
youths. You street youths these days. Listen here,
Okay.
young man. Listen here,
Okay,
young man.
Schmidt. Calm
Don't
yourself, Schmidt.
disrespect your elders, especially haven't you ever
You're
heard
not an
don't
out.
mess with an old man in a
I
profession
okay. With
who's lasted
your
this long in a profession?
okay, with your bad arm and your janky knees. Your knees make weird noises, bro.
Weird noises, that's fine. They don't hurt, they're fine. I move just fine.
For
I'm
now.
functional.
See, the fact that you're saying functional, it's not a good thing.
Okay.
So you should be saying spry.
Mm,
Nimble, if you
I am rather spry for an old
nimble,
man. I am
if
rather
you you're
spry for an old
not
man.
fucking old. You're not
Yes.
even 30.
Oh, Jovan,
Dude,
Jovan.
I swear on
In all
everything.
my years on this
You are
earth,
literally the worst
there are
person that I've
three
ever
things
met.
I am sure
You
of.
are the worst
Hold on,
person
please
that
don't interrupt your elders.
listen, see, understand I have a microphone now. So I will
Mhm.
cut you off if I feel
Okay, but please, there are three things I am certain on this earth:
Tanner.
death, taxes, and that I am your elder.
Tanner.
I love you, young man. It's okay. You'll learn. You will learn. You will, your grace, your wisdom will come in,
Nobody cares.
and you
Nobody cares.
and you will learn.
Nobody cares. Blowing,
Nobody cares.
excuse me, sir.
Nobody
blowing
cares.
smoke
Excuse me,
straight out of your ass.
Anyway.
I'm working on production. I'm trying to get my shit together, bro.
you're trying to get your radio voice. Yeah. So listen, here we are, late night.
Yo, if I could get on the radio, just know I would do it. I honestly, if I could work on my radio voice enough to have a nice smooth jazz around 9:00 in the evening, maybe talk about the traffic at the time and just have a chill vibe and let people relax before going to bed. We'll be back with the news in 5. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
This is Jovan on Hot 97.9 signing off saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Bro, I might need to get in to being a disc jockey.
Holy shit. All right.
Turn podcast into disc jockey.
Yeah.
I love tunes enough. I could probably do it.
Right. So, do you have anything to say before we sign off?
Yeah, just all I ask for my birthday this year is a like and subscribe on my page.
Yes.
I'm not really asking for a whole lot.
Yes, click.
Check out a couple other videos, but hey, just like,
subscribe, share.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yes. Also, we will be doing, I believe, sort of a giveaway contest.
Oh yeah, we did speak about that.
Yes,
we're still working out the details on that, but hoping to have our first giveaway contest. What are we thinking? A month
yes.
or so?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at.
Yes. I think it'll be a nice prize.
Look out for those details.
It's free.
Coming within a couple weeks.
Yes, and for next week's episode, we are planning on having another special guest. That is in the works. So look for that when we are, posting about, when we drop this episode.
Sarah,
look for that.
Sarah, I'm coming for you. It's going to be her. I'm going to reach out to her.
We'll see.
Again, She knows our dynamic, and she's probably got some stories to tell, and that'll be good for the
Too
audience.
many. Too many.
Yeah, actually, probably some stuff that we should have her sign some documents on,
Yeah.
but not releasing that information. But that'll end it for this week's episode. We will catch you guys next week. Have a great evening.
Yes. And also drop in and say happy birthday to Jovan on Facebook. Look for
Thanks,
him.
man.
Say happy
Appreciate
birthday.
it. Peace
All
out,
right.
guys.
Bye, everybody.